In this video, I'm going to be talking about the 3 biggest sourcing myths I hear about China and how I'm going to bust them. So, number 1, all products in China are cheap and bad quality. This is just simply not true. You can expect to get what you pay for. Are there cheap and bad quality items in China? Of course there are. You will get what you pay for. To give you some examples, I tried to find the cheapest audio Bluetooth adapter for my car because it doesn't have Bluetooth, so I can connect my phone directly to my car and play music. And I found one for about, I think 20 to 30 RMB, which is ridiculously cheap. Well, it turns out 2 days after I bought it, it broke apart on me. I asked them to send me another one, and they did with no issues. I showed them proof that it broke after normal use. And guess what happened? It broke again. So I just kind of gave up and I kind of understood, okay, well, yeah, I did pay a cheap price, so I got cheap quality. To give you another example is on the extreme, when you pay for something more expensive, if you know the company DJI, they do drones, they do gimbals and handheld cameras. I'm actually using the Osmo Pocket right now, and it's actually pretty handy. And they're not cheap, but they provide really good quality, and I'm sure you've seen many reviews of people reviewing their products, and they're definitely not at the cheap price scale. So it depends on what you like. So if you want to buy the cheapest thing, you absolutely can, but don't expect it to be very high quality. I recently bought some wireless earbuds that cost about 200 RMB, and they work just fine for my requirements. I'm not using them for professional work, and they automatically connect to my phone when I open the case, and it comes with a chargeable case. But if I were to compare it to wireless headphones that cost maybe 1,000 to 2,000 RMB, you can definitely tell the reaction time is quite different, and it's just not as good as quality, and the range is just not as strong. That's just something you have to accept, price or quality. You probably can have both in some cases, price and quality, but you have to be ready for the worst. I learned a saying doing YouTube for a while is that you buy it nice or you buy it twice. I tried buying wireless microphone and I bought it cheap. So then I had to buy a new one because it kept on malfunctioning during my videos, and I'm like, this is horrible. So, okay, that same concept applies in China. Buy it nice or be prepared to buy it twice. I'm not saying everything that you buy cheap is bad quality, but just be prepared for it, especially if it comes to tech. If you're trying to buy clothing items, they're actually pretty good with that in China, giving you good quality and cheap price. But when it comes to tech, you better be able to ready to buy it nice or to buy it twice. So myth number 2 is that fakes are really easy to buy in China. For those that don't know, fakes are items like you say you have an iPhone where they just reverse engineer it and give you the same iPhone with the same logo, and it's also known as intellectual property theft. Now, does this happen in China? Yes, it does. Are there ways to prevent it? Yes, but as time goes on, it's getting harder and harder to find these fake companies that just produce fake things. You gotta do some digging is what I'm saying. And not everything here is fake. There are actually regulations that prevent this from going viral in the Chinese market. However, there are always loopholes. To give you an example, if you set up a Taobao store and you try and post something like an Apple product, they actually have an algorithm that detects that you're copying their product, and they won't let you post the product. Now, you gotta make sure if you have your own intellectual property you're trying to sell in China, that you seek the right legal assistance and apply for the proper trademarks and the intellectual property rights and the patents. Make sure that's all squared away beforehand, so that when you open the store in Taobao, you have all that paperwork ready, and if somebody were to imitate your product, you can handle it quickly, or Taobao can handle it quickly for you. I've had some friends that wanted to penetrate the Chinese market, and they promoted a product that was quite easy to copy, and lo and behold, a lot of the products were copied. But if you do the due diligence, which a lot of people don't do, to get the proper copyrights and the patents done beforehand with a lawyer, and I have a contact for that if you need to, you can go ahead and avoid a lot of the headache. May it still happen? Yeah, probably. But it's not as easy to find as it used to be. There are regulations in place to prevent these from happening. So no, not everything you can buy in China is fake, or fakes are not super easy to find. You would probably have to do a lot of digging or go to specific markets in person to find them. But as far as just finding it online, it's getting harder and harder. Myth number 3, and this is probably my favorite one to bust. branded items are cheaper in China. This is just absolutely not true. I have so many people ask me, where can I buy a cheap iPhone? The iPhone 12 just came out and they manufacture a lot of the parts in China, so it should be the cheapest in China, right? No, there's something that people just don't take into account, and it's called value-added tax for luxury items. Now, the definition of luxury can be subjective, but there is usually a list of items that are considered luxury and not luxury, and usually the price fluctuates on how much tax is going to be charged for that item. To give you an example, if you want to buy a car, let's say it's worth $100,000 from the US and you want to import it into China, well, as soon as it hits the border of China, you're going to have to pay a hefty value-added tax fee. Now, the value-added tax fees can range between 5 to 90% of the ticket price. Well, for the car example, that's actually about an 80 to 90% value-added tax fee. So let's say you bought a $100,000 car, you're gonna have to pay $90,000 just in taxes to get it across the border. And that's just an example with the car. It's a little bit extreme. And I'll be making a video in the future about how to import a car into China. So this applies to many other brands. Like if you want to buy the newest iPhone, then you can expect there to be a value-added tax if you buy it in mainland China. That's why a lot of people go to Hong Kong, and there's an island in the south of China, I forgot what the name it is. It's also a duty-free place, and they're encouraging duty-free because they want to increase the tourism there. But besides the point, so if it's a branded product like Louis Vuitton or one of those luxury brands that you know of, you can't find it cheaper in China. You just can't. There's too much tax added onto it. As soon as it crosses the border, that's why it's so expensive in the malls to buy the product, and as if you were to buy it in an outlet or in the United States or in Hong Kong, because there's a value-added tax. So it's something people need to know. Now, there are very few exceptions to actually go through with this at a cheaper price, and I'll give you an example. If you want to buy the newest iPhone, there's a platform called Pinduoduo, which is a sourcing platform. And when I finish the video, I'll link the cheapest ways to source in China online. It's one of the platforms I would suggest. They actually have promotions where they want you to buy more things on their platform. So let me give you an example. The newest iPhone 12 came out. They have a lottery that you could apply for, and every 12 hours, they'll issue you a 200 RMB coupon to use on your next iPhone purchase. Well, for the iPhone 12, you can apply for the lottery, and if you get that coupon, you can use that coupon to go ahead and buy the new iPhone 12 at a 200 RMB discount. Now realize there's still value-added tax, so it still may not be cheaper as it will be in your home country. So don't assume that just because it's sold in China and manufactured in China, that it's cheaper inside China. It might be cheaper in your own country. Also, something I would like to warn you guys is if it sounds too good to be true, it is. There are so many scammers out there that you need to be careful for. They can say, oh, we're resellers, we have large distribution of iPhones, MacBooks, etc. And they sell you the things at half the price. You look at the price comparisons on Taobao 168 and they're selling you half the value, and they don't even have like a registered company. Don't fall for it, okay? They're gonna seem like, oh, we've been doing business for years, you don't believe us, I can't believe it. And they can't even provide you their company registration that has a number that you can check in the back-end system to make sure they're real. They won't provide you these documents when you ask for it. It's a scam, guys. They're gonna steal money from you. So just be careful when people say, hey, I can find you really, really cheap branded iPhone products here. That's just not true. And if it sounds too good to be true, be very cautious because it may be. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you agree with any of the myths? Do you disagree? Do you have any that you want to add? And if you found value from this content, please smash the like button. If you want to see weekly content about having a better lifestyle in China as a foreigner or doing business in China, consider subscribing to my channel. And you can reach out to me on my social media, where I try to be reachable to you guys to answer your questions within a 24-hour period. Anyways, thanks for watching this episode. Keep surviving, and I'll catch you in the next video.